Question 2 asks us to solve the equation a equals 4 pi r squared for r, the radius. So we're just trying to isolate this variable r, and you can see that two things are happening to r. R is being squared and r is being multiplied by 4 pi. Usually when I'm isolating a variable, I do things kind of in the reverse order of operation. So if I was evaluating this expression, I would square r and then multiply by 4 pi. But if I'm trying to get r alone, I would undo them in the reverse order. I would divide both sides by 4 pi and then take the square root. So if I divided both sides by 4 pi, I get the area divided by 4 pi is equal to r squared. And what I can do now is I can take the square root of both sides. Now, customarily, there's two numbers, right? If I have the equation r squared equals 9, for example, there's two solutions here. R would either be a negative 3 or r would be positive 3. So when I normally solve equations like this, what I do is I just take the square root of both sides, but I introduce this plus or minus symbol, so r equals plus or minus the square root of 9, or 3. In this setting, in a geometric setting, we're talking about r as being the radius of a circle. Well, that's not going to be a negative number, right? The radius of a circle is the distance from the center of a circle to a point on the circle. So distances are always measured using positive numbers. So r is not going to be the negative case, so I can exclude this one. But I am going to do that. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. If I take the square root of both sides, I get something that looks like this: the square root of a divided by 4 pi, and that's what r is. And that's probably a fine answer. There is something else I can do. I do see that I have a 4 inside of there, and they're all monomials, right? It is a monomial. It's a over 4 pi. So I can rewrite this in this way. I can rewrite it as the square root of a over pi. Oops, a over pi is what I meant to write. Times 1/4. And the only reason why I point this out is the square root of 1/4 is 1/2. So I can rewrite this as 1/2 times the square root of a over pi. So either one of these answers is fine. The problem is occasionally on a multiple choice exam, you may get this one and look, you're all happy, but you look and that's not one of the choices. And the reason why is we've just pulled the perfect square out of the square root. So in a free response test like this, I'm happy with either the square root of a over 4 pi or 1/2 times the square root of a over pi.